Thank you for joining me today again as we start our next live stream, Learn English live stream. This is Esther, and I want to thank you all for joining me again for this next grammar lesson. I just want to remind you that Robin is in this chat room, and he will be helping to answer all of the questions and that you might have, as well as reply to your often funny and also very sweet and nice comments. I apologize, my nose is a little red today because I'm having some allergies, so I hope you will understand and forgive me if I sniffle a lot today. So let's check out who's here. Thank you again for joining. So we have Jenabu. I believe that's how I say it. Thank you for joining us again. I'm so happy to see you here. Ramazan Batal, thank you so much. I try to be kind and I try to be clear, so I really am grateful that you appreciate that. Hello, Anfal. Thank you for coming again, for joining us. Carlos, hi. How are you? Fofa, greetings from Iraq. Wow, it makes me so happy to see that I'm meeting so many people from around the world. I think that's amazing. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Jose Vieira from Brazil. Wow, I would love to visit Brazil one day. Prakar, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining and thank you for the cat emojis. Ziad, thank you. Hazni, welcome back to you as well. Hamza, I'm good, and maybe Robin can tell us how he's doing, but thank you for joining. Bishal, hi. Thank you for joining us today. Robin asks, what kind of allergies? I think my allergies are seasonal. So just when the season and the weather changes, I get allergies, but especially during spring. So it's spring here in California, and the flowers, the pollen, also Ongi, my cat, he sheds a lot more during this season. So those are some of the allergies that I'm experiencing. MD Azar, hi. Ijaz Hussein, hi. Grace, hello. Jose, hello. Rayana, hello. Thank you for joining. How are you? Abdul, Anandu, Zakir, um, and Kiramat. I've been great. Thank you. Again, thank you everybody for coming and being a part of today's lesson. I just wanted to say also that, Robin teacher and I work really hard to prepare these videos and to get them to you guys. So I thank you for being here every week. I thank you for supporting us, for doing the homework, leaving comments, asking questions. That's really, really great. We also hope that you will consider supporting us in other ways. So you can check out the information to my left, as well as the links in the description to find other ways that you can support us so that we can continue making these live streams and videos in the future. So thank you for that, and we're going to start the lesson. Let me just say hi to a few more people and then let's begin. Hi, Carlos from Ecuador. Wow. Wow, Prakar, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your generosity. I believe you also donated last week. So thank you for so much for supporting Robin, teacher, and me so that we can make more videos and hopefully teach more grammar, answer more questions, and just support you as well as you learn English. Adamu. Oh, Ziad, I'm sorry to hear that you also have allergies. It's horrible, isn't it? Broken Angel. Hi, from India. Nala. What a beautiful name. Okay, good. It sounds like Atika and Nala know each other. Hi, Tika Nerfitria. Thank you for coming. And Kirama asks, are you an English teacher in school there in your city? So thank you for that question. I was an English teacher for about almost 10 years in Korea. Right now, I'm a student and I'm studying to be a school counselor. Oh, and Ongi is here. to say hello. He wants to join. Okay, so he might bother us a little bit today. He's awake. Thank you so much, MD, and thank you for Prakar again. All right, so let's go ahead and start the English lesson or grammar lesson, more like. So today we're going to be learning the present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous. Are you guys ready to start? Are you excited? I am. All right. So here is the lesson plan for today. We will start with a lesson on usage and formation, when to use the present perfect continuous, and how to make or use the present perfect continuous. Then we will start with some practice questions. After that, we'll move on to the test. And then I'll finish with assigning some homework that I hope you guys will do. And remember, Robin teacher or Robin and I will give you some feedback. Okay. Hello for those of you joining. All right, let's go ahead and start with the lesson. So we use the present perfect continuous tense in two ways, and we'll start with the first one. We use the present perfect continuous for actions that have started in the past and continue in the present. Okay, they started before and they're still happening now. Let's look at an example. She has been waiting all day for you. I want you to look at the blue. I want you to look at how we form the present perfect continuous as we're going through this. And I also want you to think of, did this action start in the past? And is it still happening now? And in this case, that's true. She is still waiting. Okay, let's look at the sentence again. She has been waiting all day for you. She has been waiting all day for you. Okay, let's look at another usage rule. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's look at another example. They have been traveling. Again, they have been traveling. Now notice the difference between the first example and the second example. In the first example, it says all day for you. She has been waiting all day for you. So it shows the time. How long has she been waiting, right? It shows how long she has been waiting. However, in the second example, they have been traveling. They have been traveling. In that one, it doesn't say how long they have been traveling. We don't know when they started. We don't know how long that's been going on. And that's okay. But what's important is we know that they started before now and they're still traveling now. Same thing with the first example. She started waiting before and she has been waiting. She's still waiting. Okay? All right. Hi to those of you joining. Thank you for being here. Let's move on. We also use the present perfect continuous tense for finished actions that recently stopped. Okay, so this one's different. It's an action that finished recently. It stopped recently. And there's a result. Okay, something has happened because of the action. So let's look at some examples. Okay, here is the first example sentence. I've been running. So I'm really hot. I've been running, so I'm really hot. So in this example, you can see that this person has stopped running. And what's the result? The result is that the speaker is really hot. All right, Let's see if you guys have any questions. Okay, Hamza, that's a great example. I have been studying English since 2018. All right, and Wilson, I have been watching your live stream for 20 minutes. Very good. And Diego also says, it has been raining or it's been raining all day long. Okay, and on fall, I knew this question would come up because it's a very important question. What's the difference between present perfect, right, which is what we learned last week, and the present perfect continuous? Oh, wait, no. Present perfect and present continuous. Okay, I think you might be talking about present perfect continuous, which is what we're learning today, and then the present continuous, which I don't think we've gone over yet. That is a little bit of a longer answer, so I can try to give you a brief answer. But really, they're very similar. So it's similar to saying, I am reading a book, and I have been reading a book for 2 hours. They're similar because they both started in the past and they are still going on right now. It really depends on the context, okay? So I will answer that question in a future video. I hope that's okay. And Robin can also try to kind of jump in here if he'd like. It really depends on the why you're saying that, what you're saying it with. So that's what I mean by context. Okay, thank you so much for that question. Hi, Lily, and thank you for all of your questions and interest. And I know this is a little bit different, but Wilson, my cat, is about 7 years old. Okay, we better move on. So let's look at another example. Okay, it's been raining. So he's wet now. It's been raining. So he's wet now. Okay, so in the first part of the sentence where we use the present perfect continuous, it's the action has stopped. It's no longer raining. Okay, so this action recently stopped and there's a result. Can you figure out the result? Take a look at the sentence. The result of the rain is that he's wet. Okay, so when a finished action that recently stopped has a result, we can use the present perfect continuous. Okay. And Grace, it is a lot of information. But that's not because your brain is small. It's because you're right. There's a lot of information. The key is practice, practice, practice. Especially speaking, try practicing with native English speakers if you can. Try the homework. Talk to people. It doesn't have to be native English speakers, right? I know that you guys are good at catching mistakes. Okay, now we're going to start looking at the usage. How do we write or use or speak the present perfect continuous tense? Well, first, it's important to decide, do we use have or has and then been? Have or has been. Now that depends on the subject. I think most of you know that by now. Last week when we used the present perfect, we also had to decide, do we use have or has? So this should be a little bit easy for you guys if you were here last week. If not, that's okay. We can learn it again. So the present perfect continuous, you can see right next to me, always has been, okay? But we need to look further at the have or has column and the subject pronoun column to decide which one do I use. So I will go over these briefly. I have been. Okay, so for the subject I, we use have. For he, she, it, you guys know this one, we use has. He, she, it, if that is the subject, we use has been. Okay, now when we go back to you, we, and they, we say have been. So again, for I, you, we, and they, we say have been. For he, she, it, we say has been. Okay? All right. Ziad asks, so we have just two uses for the present perfect continuous? That is correct. Those would be the two most common uses. Wilson, that's a great sentence. I have been cooking my cake for 40 minutes. You started in the past and you're doing that now. Okay. Hamza asks, can we use the present perfect continuous for something that will continue in the future for some actions? For example, if I say, I have been working for this company since 2018, yes, you can use that sentence to show that you started in the past, you're still doing it now, and it doesn't really tell about the future, but it could say, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop. Okay, so if you say, I've been working for this company, we don't know what that means for the future, but we know that right now you're still working and you could possibly continue working there. Okay, Jose, I have been working at school since 2017. That's a great sentence. Lal, thank you so much. It is a privilege to meet so many great people from all over the world. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I hope that this chart has been helpful. So let's move on to some other formation rules. Okay, so when we are forming the affirmative of the perfect present continuous, we use, present perfect continuous. I'm sorry about that. We start with the subject. Okay, and depending on the subject, we use has or have been. Don't forget the been. And then we take the base verb and add ing to it. Let's take a look at an example. He is the subject in this example. So do we use have or has been? For he, she, it, we use has. So we say he has been. The base verb in the example is walk. And remember, we add ing to the base verb. So what happens when we put this all together? Maybe even adding, the time, maybe not. In this example, we have added how long he has been walking. So let's see. He has been walking for 2 hours. He has been walking for 2 hours. This example does have the length of time. Now, I also want to point out a lot of people like to combine the subject and has. Okay, so we call that a contraction, right? So they took out the HA and you could say he's been walking for 2 hours. That's okay as well. But for the purpose of this example, we will not use the contraction so that you don't get confused. Okay. So Ziad, yes, I did answer that question. I would say mostly, yes, two uses. There might be others, but these are the two most common. Okay. All right. Good. I see some good examples. Okay. Let's move on. So that's the affirmative. Let's talk about how to form the negative. The negative is we start with the subject. We decide, is it has or is it have? Then you'll notice in the purple, we say the word not in there. Okay, we add the not before the been. Okay, and then the base verb plus ing. All right, so again, subject, has or have, not, been, and then base verb plus ing. Let's look at an example. In this example, the subject is they. Now, if you remember, for they, do we use have or has? we would use have. Okay, then in the purple, we remember to add not before the been. Okay, have not been. The base verb is eat in this example, and we add ing. If we put it all together, we can say, they have not been eating well. Okay, so maybe this one doesn't show the time, but it shows how have they not been eating. Okay, they have not been eating well. All right. Hamza asks, what's the difference between since and for? Since you start with a specific point in time. For example, they have not been eating well since last night. Okay, it tells you a specific point in time. For tells you the duration of time, how long. So I can say, they have not been eating well for 24 hours. I hope that answers your question. Okay, Billy, that's a great example. Just remember, you have to add ing to the base verb. So it would be, she has not been going to the doctor. All right. Now, to form the interrogative, the question, it's a little different. We start with has or have, and then the subject. Now remember, whether you use has or have depends on the subject. So you want to make sure that you can identify what the subject is so that you choose has or have correctly. So again, start with has or have, then the subject, then the word been, and then base verb plus ing. I know this is a lot of information, so you may have to go back and watch the video after the live stream is finished, but that's okay. Remember, it takes a lot of practice to master English grammar. All right, so let's look at the examples. So look at this sentence, or look at this question. The subject is you. Remember, for I, you, we, and they, we use have. So we're going to start with have. Have you been, live, plus ing. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like when we put it together. Have you been living in New York? Maybe I'm talking to a friend that I haven't talked to in a long time, and that friend says, I'm in New York. I'm living in New York. And I could say, oh, have you been living in New York? I'm asking, did that start in the past and it's still continuing now? All right, Lily, great example sentence. Okay. Great, Billy. Thank you for fixing your error. Great job. Okay, let's move on. Omar, I love pizza as well. Okay, the next rule is for the negative interrogative. So a negative question, okay? So we start with has or have. Again, that depends on the subject. Then we have the word not. And then we add the subject plus been plus base verb plus ing. Wow. That's a lot of parts, right? So again, has or have plus not, then the subject, then been, and then finally the base verb plus ing. Here's the example. The subject is she. Remember, for he, she, it, we use has. So if we didn't use a contraction, we would say has not she been eating? But in English, we don't really say has not. So we have to put the two words together. Hasn't. Hasn't she been eating? Now, what if the subject was they, or we, or I, or you? We wouldn't say has, right? We would say have. What happens when you put have and not together in a contraction? it would be haven't. Haven't they been eating? Okay, so just keep that in mind. Hasn't or haven't. Okay, for the negative interrogative, for negative questions. Haven't or hasn't. We put it together. So, Billy, you wrote, has not she been going to school? That's a great try. Remember, we just want to put has and not together. So, we would say, hasn't she been going to school? Hi, Batman. Thank you for joining. So let's look at this example one more time as a complete sentence. And simply, hasn't she been eating? Hasn't she been eating? Hasn't she been eating? Okay. It's now time for practice. All right. So please look at this example sentence. They blank for an hour. The base verb that we'd like you to try is the talk, is talk. Okay. So in the chat, please write the affirmative for present perfect continuous using this sentence. I will give you a few minutes to try and then we'll go over the correct answer. Looks good so far. Omar and Hyato, good. Okay, so we have about 5 people that have shared the answers. Okay, thank you, Kartik and Lily and Hamada. Hi, Mehila. Okay, all right. Um, Jenabu, I want you to look at your sentence one more time. Remember, we start with the subject, have or has, so you have that correct. Been, and then base verb ing. Okay, so good. Thank you guys so much. The correct answer for this one would be they have been talking for an hour. They have been talking for an hour. I think almost everybody got this right. I also noticed that Omar wrote they've been talking for an hour. That is also correct. You can combine they and have into a contraction and write they've. THEY apostrophe VE. That is okay as well. Thank you for putting in the effort to try the practice. Great job. Let's move on to practice question number 2. All right, now we're practicing the negative. Okay, I hope you remember that. That was a little bit harder. We're getting a little bit more challenging questions. Okay, so I is the subject. The base verb is do. And then we finish with any housework. But remember, I want you to try the negative. So maybe you need to look back. Maybe you took some notes. That would be great. So please try your answer in the chat. Okay, I'm seeing a few different types of answers here. Keep trying and then we'll go over the answer. The important thing to remember is that for the present perfect continuous, the base verb always has ing at the end. The spelling might change a little bit, but there is ing at the end. So take a look at your answers. If you don't have an ing and the word been, B-E-E-N, you may want to look at your answer and maybe change it, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna go over the answer now. This one was a little more challenging, so thank you for trying. Good. Okay, thank you. I see Omar corrected his answer, and that's correct. So the correct answer is I haven't been doing any housework. I haven't been doing any housework. Okay, remember subject, have or has, not. Remember, not goes between have or has and been. You put the not in the middle. And then the base verb was do plus ing. I haven't been doing any housework. Or that's the contraction have not put together. You can also take it apart. I have not been doing any housework. So I see that some people put haven't been and some people put have not been. Those are both correct. Now I noticed that Omar wrote I've not been doing any housework. I would say that what Omar did there is he used a contraction for I and have. And in English, that is okay. I would say it's a little bit less common. It would be more common to say I haven't been doing. I would combine have and not. But I've not been doing. That's I. It's not. People don't speak like that very commonly. I'd say maybe in the UK they talk like that, or maybe in Australia, some other countries. Mehila asks, is or was. Actually, in the present perfect continuous, we don't use the be verb is or was. We don't use any of those. We use been, been. Okay, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to practice question number 3. They're getting harder. Now we want to try the interrogative. Please try forming this question. The subject has been provided for you. The subject is you. And the base verb has also been provided. The base verb here is study. All right, so please try your answers in the chat. All right, Abdul, just remember base verb plus ing. Your sentence is correct, almost correct. Just put doing. The answers look good so far. It seems like you guys are getting the hang of it. So let's go over the answer. And Omar says he has not been studying for his test. Okay, here we go. The subject is you, therefore we have to use have. Have you been studying for your test? So good. Everybody remember to add ing to the base verb. Great job. Have you been studying for your test? Have you been studying for your test? And I can see that most people got this right. Billy, don't forget, that's very, very close. Remember, we have to have been after the you, okay? So yeah, this present perfect continuous tense is tricky because there are a lot more parts, right? So remember, it has to have has or have, subject has to have been, and then verb, base verb, ing. Okay, let's move on. Practice question number 4, the interrogative. Okay, another question. What blank, and the base verb is do. Ooh, this one can be a little tricky. Why don't you try it in the chat, and we'll go over the answers in just a minute. Wilson, that's a great example. How long have you been studying for your test? Mehila, the difference between been and being, they are just different tenses of the be verb. In the present perfect continuous, however, we always use been. Okay, great. Hamza, just remember to add the what at the beginning. All right, it sounds like you all have the right idea. On fall, yes, thank you. I was just gonna say, don't forget the what. All right. Wow, it seems like most of you have it down. Great job. So let's look at the answer. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? Okay. Great job. Let's move on. Practice question number 5. The negative interrogative. Ooh, this one's hard. This one's tricky, but I know you can do it. Okay. The subject is they. Okay. And the base verb is sleep. So there's not a lot of information, but I know you can do it. Okay. So again, try the negative interrogative. Remember, if it's negative, it has to have the word not. I hope you also remember that we usually use contractions for the negative interrogative. We usually put 2 words together. I wonder if you guys will remember. Let's see. Thank you, Mehila. Okay, Hamza, great try. Try the negative. Again, remember the negative has to have not in there somehow. And a lot of times we combine the not with another word. I wonder if you remember. This is tricky. Okay. Mehila, remember we need to use have or has in there. We need been. And we need a good, you have the base verb ing. Think, where can we put have? Where can we put been? Where can we put not? Hamilton, that looks great. Remember, where can we use a contraction? Where can we put 2 words together so the sentence flows better? Okay, and Robin reminds us, if you do like the video, if you feel like you're getting a lot out of this lesson, I hope that you will like our video. Thank you. Okay, this one has been a little more tricky. All right, so good, Mehila, you're getting closer. Let's look over the answer. The correct answer is, haven't they been sleeping? Okay, natural supers are very, very close. So let's look. How do we break this one down? The subject is they. So that means we use have at the beginning. Have not. Remember, this is negative, right? Negative interrogative. So we need not. Have not. We put that together. Haven't. Haven't they been sleeping? Haven't they been sleeping? Great job. Okay, that was a tricky one. You guys did amazing. We're going to get another chance to practice that. So let's move on to the test. I hope you guys are ready. All right. Test question number 1 for the present perfect continuous tense. Now, there aren't as many clues. You get to choose what base verb you want to use in this question or in this sentence, okay? If you want, you can also try the negative. Well, yeah. Okay, so go ahead, be creative, and I'll share with you some of the answers that I came up with. I just want to remind you there are many possible answers. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Okay, good. I'm seeing some different uses, and that's great. All right, looks great so far. Wow, I'm impressed. You guys are fast learners, definitely. Good afternoon, Maria. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I have a few answers and looks great so far. So I noticed that Hamza and Mehila wrote she has been emailing. Now that's very interesting and very good. Email is now often used as a verb, right? I'll email you, right? We're using email as a verb sometimes. So that's fine. You've changed email into the base verb. So she has been emailing for 3 hours. And I see a lot of different verbs that you guys have used. All of them look amazing. Lily says, I think my answer is not good. Let's look. She has been writing her emails for 3 hours. Lily, that sounds fine. That sounds great. Let's look at some of the possible answers that I wrote. But so far, she has been sending emails, receiving emails, writing emails, checking emails, searching emails. All of those look fine. There is one. Okay, Billy, I noticed that you wrote she has been not reading emails for 3 hours. That's very close. It is tricky. If you want to do the negative, you need to put not in the middle of has and been. Okay, so take has not been. She has not been reading her email for 3 hours. Okay. Wilson. Now the subject is she. So remember for he, she, it, we use has. So it would be she has been deleting emails for 4 hours. That's a lot of emails, but yes, that's correct. She has been. All right, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to test question number 2. Lily, you are welcome. Test question number 2. Again, be creative. I really love reading all the different answers that you guys can come up with. So I blank my book for months. So you can try the affirmative, you can try the negative. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. So go ahead and write your answers for test question number 2 in the chat below. Thank you so much, Wilson. I really appreciate the support that you've been giving. Okay, good. Hmm. All right. So I've noticed that a lot of you are using the base verb read. Great. I noticed Lily also used the base verb write, writing, right? Add ing. Don't forget. Great job. Ah, very creative. Looking for my book, right? Maybe you lost it. All right, studying my book, writing my book. Okay, it looks like everybody got it right. The subject is I, therefore we have to use have. I have been reading. I have been writing. I have been looking for. Great job. Um, okay. And remember, in this case, negative is okay as well. The examples that I gave were mostly affirmative. Let's move on to test question number 3. All right, it's time for practicing the interrogative, practicing writing questions in the present perfect continuous tense. The subject is you. You get to choose the base verb. Okay, so go ahead and try your different answers in the chat, please. Thank you so much. Ikaro? Ikaro? Wilson, that's a great try. It's hard to explain why, but for that sentence, I think it would be better to use the present perfect tense. I haven't touched my book in months. Okay, it sounds like you guys really have it down. Let's take a look at some of the possible answers, and I see a lot of great ones. Okay, so with the interrogative, you can use just the interrogative or the negative interrogative, and that's what I have here. So if I use the negative, the subject is you, so I start with have. And remember, we don't say have not, right? That's a little bit awkward, a little bit strange. So we put it together in a contraction. We say haven't. We put have and not together. Haven't. Now, if the subject was he, she, or it, I would use hasn't. But the subject is you. So, haven't you been studying English every day? Haven't you been studying English every day? Also, if I don't do the negative, I just want to do the interrogative. I say, have you been studying English every day? Have you been studying English every day? Sounds good. And it sounds like a lot of you guys put that answer. So studying, teaching, good. You can say writing. Have you been writing or have you been writing English every day? Okay, those are all very good answers. Okay, test question number 4. Are you ready? All right. She blinked to the gym a lot. Do you guys go to the gym? I wonder. Um, Go ahead and try your answers in the chat. All right, Mehila says yes. Maybe he does go to the gym. All right, great job, Hamada. All right, Hamza, it sounds like a lot of people are on the right track. Let's keep seeing what you guys think. And again, you can try to choose a different base verb if you'd like, just for practice, just to be creative, just for fun. Great. Hi, Akib. Ah, Hamza, very good. Now, in that case, we would say she has been training at the gym. So you want to change the preposition. Akib, I'm great. How are you? Thank you for joining us today. All right. Okay, Anfal chooses to use the negative. That's great as well. I like that you guys are trying different things and getting that practice in. Okay, Joyen, it looks like you're going back and trying a different question. Just remember that we need to use the base verb plus ing. So here you use received, you have to change it to receiving. Oh, Omar, you and your family have never been to the gym. Yeah, I can see some families don't go. And that's actually a very good sentence, good grammar. All right, thank you, Hamza, for checking that. Okay, Natural Superstar looks good. Let's go ahead and look at some of the answers. All right, Wilson added, she is in shape. Yes, people that go to the gym a lot are usually in shape. All right, so simple answer is she has been going to the gym a lot. And a lot of you put that. Thank you. She has been going to the gym a lot. Okay, maybe at the end of the sentence, I want to put something like recently or lately, just to show that that's something that's been happening around this time, but I don't have to put it. Are you ready for the last test question? Let's try it. Okay, I'm so tired because I blank. Well, the subject is I. So I think you know, do I use has or have? And then you can choose what you would like to put. And I will share some possible answers in just a minute. Wilson, that's a great sentence. Ba'atman. Ba'atman. I would say, remember the subject is she. So we say hasn't. Hasn't been going. This one's tricky. She hasn't. Remember, we need been and then base verb go plus ing. Good try. All right, thank you, Wilson, for joining. Hope to see you next week. Some people have to leave right now. Okay. All right. Um, there are a few answers I see that are not using the present perfect continuous. So I would check again. Remember, there must be verb, base verb, plus ing. Okay, so let me go through some of them and see how I can help you make your sentence correct. So, Hamza, that's a great try. I'm so tired because I have been. Now, I think a better verb to use here would be having a bad day. So, I get what you're saying. I'm so tired because I have been having a bad day. Okay. Janabu, the Janabu, I'm so tired because I have been stressed during the week. Now, that sentence makes sense. Okay. That's correct. However, we want to use the present perfect continuous. So, I'm so tired because I've been stressing out during the week. ing, right? Stress, ing, if you use it as a verb. Okay. And then usually when we use stress as a verb in English, it's kind of a slang, but we say stressing out. Um, Good. Hamada, I'm so tired because I have been working for 6 hours. That is a lot of time to work. Lily, I'm so tired because I haven't been eating fruit. Great job. Fruit gives us energy, right? Fruit, vegetables, healthy foods. So if you're not eating that, if you have not been eating fruit, you might feel tired. Good. And I like that you tried the negative. All right, Jose, I have been working a lot. Very good. Good, Billy, I'm so tired because I have been going to school. On fall, I have been washing dishes. Okay, Hamza, I'm so glad to hear that. Lal, good night. Thank you for being here. I have been doing my job all day, says Green Line. I have been swimming for 4 hours. Wow, I love the creativity that I'm seeing, and it all looks so good. Robinson says, I have been working. You might want to take out the so, okay? Maybe you can say, I'm so tired because I have been working so hard. That's okay. Jose Vieira, I'm so tired because I have been working for 8 hours a day. Good. Mehila, I am so tired because I have not been able to eat because I am sick. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that you feel better soon. Just remember, try to use the present perfect continuous. I'm so tired, says Omar, because I've been talking to a friend of mine that's very close minded. That can be very tiring. I agree. Okay. Ayaz, I'm good. How are you? Okay. Baatman, I'm so tired because I've been learning. Learning can be tiring. All right. Um, Akib, I'm not sure. I I think I've seen you in previous live streams. Okay, jogging for 5 hours, says Janabu. Joel Castillo, I'm so tired because I've been driving for 5 hours. I love it. You guys did an amazing job. Let me share some of the things that I'm doing. Good, Ayaz. I'm glad to hear that you're doing fine. All right. So you all shared some wonderful, really fun, really great answers. Here are some of the answers that Robin and I came up with. I'm so tired because I have been studying. I have been working. I have been traveling. So you all did a great job in realizing that we need to use have been. Have, because the subject is I. And all of you did a great job at doing the base verb plus ing. Okay, Joyanne, very good. I'm so tired because I woke up very early. Now that makes sense, but I want you to try using the present perfect continuous as you practice. Okay, all right, good. Green line, you've been waiting for your friend. That is also tiring. Okay, well, we're coming to our end. We're going to wrap up in about 3 minutes or so. But first, let me introduce what I would like for you to do in between the time of the end of this video and the beginning of next week's live stream. As we've been doing the past few weeks, I would like for you to try some homework, okay? This time it's easy. Just give some more example sentences using the present perfect continuous in the comments section below this video. Charles, it's okay that you're late. We're glad that you're here. I hope that you will watch the video again, try the practices, try the test questions, and try the homework. Okay, yes, Robin says, please start sending any last comments to me now because I will be wrapping up. But in the meantime, again, please try this homework assignment. In the comments section, write some example sentences using the present perfect continuous, and we will give you our feedback as soon as we can. I hope that you guys will try affirmative, negative, interrogative, negative interrogative. Remember, it's so important to practice, practice, practice. In the meantime, I also want to remind you that we would really love if you could support us. Check out the links in the description. Please make sure to write a comment, to like our videos, connect with us on social media. There are so many ways to reach out and show your support. So I'm going to say a few goodbyes. Akib, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next live stream. Hamza, do native speakers use the present perfect continuous too much? It's not as common as some of the other verb tenses. I will say that. Okay. Mehila, yes, I also want to thank Robin for helping me. Lily, thank you so much. I think you also did a great job. Jenabu, thank you for encouraging others to like the video. I hope you like the video. Natural Superstar, thank you so much for being here. Omar, I'm really glad you enjoyed the lesson. Anfal, thank you for being here. Jose, thank you. Thumbs up. Good, thank you, Green Line. Remember, you can find the descriptions and links for different projects that we're working on in the links below, and maybe Robin can help. Billy, thank you. Batman, good, getting in some more practice. Abdul, Ayaz, thank you for that joke. Ijaz, okay, thank you. Thank you for that feedback. I will try to speak more loudly or see how I can fix the mic. Green line, thank you. Ramazan, thank you so much. See you guys next week. Thank you, Hamza. Have a great day or great night. Bye.